Food isn't complicated. You eat it, you enjoy it, you don't die. For many, that sums up their understanding of food. Yet nutrition is a different beast altogether. The exploration into how food affects our bodies beyond mere sustenance is relatively new, with significant advancements made only in the past century thanks to evolving technology. This technology allows us to decipher the effects of our dietary choices with increasing accuracy. Therefore, it's reasonable to acknowledge that nutrition has encountered its share of debates over time. After all, it might sound grim, but we haven't unraveled all the mysteries of nutrition yet. We've come a long way, sure, but remember the era when fats were the bad guys? Then carbs had a turn in the naughty corner, followed by sugars getting the stink eye. Turns out, it's not as cut and dried as we thought. I'm kicking off a series aimed at shedding light on those aspects where certain negatively affect our health, significantly so. I want to talk about the everyday things that pose a risk to our well-being, the dangers lurking in our daily routines that we might not even be aware of or fully understand the extent of their harm. It's about time we tackle the true threats to our health. Artificial sweeteners, often seen as the dietary saviors for those of us looking to dodge the sugar bullet, stand at the crossroads of controversy and convenience. These synthetic substitutes for sugar, ranging from aspartame to sucralose and saccharin, have woven themselves into the fabric of our food supply. Defined by the FDA as non-nutritive sweeteners, they provide the sweet taste of sugar without the calories or the blood sugar spike, making them an attractive option for weight management and for individuals with diabetes. Let's dive deeper. Artificial sweeteners, like the knights in shining armor against calorie overload, come in various forms. These include, but are not limited to, aspartame, sucralose, what we know as splendosaccharin, also known as sweet and low, and acesulfame potassium. Each has its own unique profile, approved for use after rigorous safety reviews. However, it's important to note that while they dodge the calorie count, their long-term impact on health, appetite, and weight remains a hot topic of debate among scientists and nutritionists. Now here's the kicker. Although these sweeteners don't directly contribute to blood sugar levels, the story isn't all rainbows and zero-calorie unicorns. Research is mixed, with some studies suggesting potential links to changes in gut bacteria, appetite, and even cravings for more sugary foods. The allure of sweet without the sugar seems too good to be true, and perhaps it might be with ongoing debates about their safety and effects on the body's metabolism and satiety signals. So while artificial sweeteners might not be the demon that added sugars are, they're not exactly the angel on your shoulder either. They're a tool in the dietary toolbox, sure, but one that comes with its own set of instructions and warnings. It leaves us pondering the eternal question of balance and moderation in everything we consume. But that's for another video. The real question is, how did we go from the inception of artificial sweeteners to totally relying on them, despite all the drama around their safety and effectiveness? The journey of artificial sweeteners, from accidental discoveries to diet staples, is as fascinating as it is contentious. These calorie-free saviors emerging from laboratories rather than kitchens have carved a unique niche in our diets. They sprang from unexpected sources, like chlorine and coal tar, with saccharin, cyclamate, aspartame, and sucralose leading the pack. Despite their promise of sweetness without the calorie guilt, their road has been rocky, marked by safety debates, cancer scares in lab animals, and the paradox of possibly promoting weight gain despite their zero-calorie allure. Saccharin, discovered in 1897 by a coal tar experiment gone rogue, was the first of these to sweeten the scene. Initially, it dodged controversy and regulation, even gaining a presidential nod of approval for its use despite health concerns. It skirted bans and public skepticism, growing in popularity, especially during sugar shortages of the world wars. Its non-caloric sweeteners made it a wartime staple and a post-war diet trend. Cyclamate's tale is a tad more turbulent, entering the diet scene in the 1950s and becoming America's darling by the 1960s, only to be banned by the end of the decade over cancer concerns in rats, a ban that remains in the U.S. despite its acceptance in over 130 other countries. Aspartame, stumbling into existence in 1965, faced its hurdles with the FDA over brain tumor scares before finally winning approval in 1981. It swiftly replaced 1 billion pounds of sugar in the American diet, notably in the 1980s, despite lingering health concerns. Sucralose, discovered in 1976, brought something new to the table. It was partly metabolized by the body, delivering a minor caloric content, yet it was heat stable, making it a versatile cooking ingredient unlike its predecessors. Its creation story, involving a misunderstood instruction that led to a taste test of a chlorinated sugar compound, speaks to the accidental nature of many sweetener discoveries. The historical path of artificial sweeteners is marked by scientific serendipity, safety scares, regulatory back and forths, and the constant human quest for sweetness without the caloric cost. Despite their controversial aspects, these sweeteners have become a permanent part of the dietary landscape, continuously evolving as science advances and public opinions shift. So you might be thinking, yeah, that's all great, but you haven't actually told us what artificial sweeteners do. Artificial sweeteners play a complex role in our bodies. Unlike sugar, these sweet substitutes don't serve as a direct fuel source. Instead, they offer the sweet taste we crave without the immediate energy spike and consequent insulin surge that sugar brings. This absence of a blood sugar spike is precisely why they're heralded as safe for diabetics and helpful for weight management. But it's not all sweet sailing. The relationship between artificial sweeteners and insulin response is nuanced. While they don't directly raise blood sugar levels, some research suggests they may influence insulin sensitivity and the body's ability to handle real sugars when they do come along. Diving deeper, the impact of artificial sweeteners extends beyond glucose and insulin. Studies have linked them with mixed outcomes for weight management, with some suggesting they may paradoxically contribute to weight gain by confusing the body's signals for satiety and fullness. The psychological effects mirror those of sugar somewhat. They can trigger dopamine release, reinforcing the craving for sweetness without providing nutritional value or satisfaction. This can lead to a cycle of cravings and consumption that's hard to break. Beyond weight and metabolism, artificial sweeteners stir up controversy in other health arenas as well. While they dodge the bullet on direct dental decay caused by sugar, their safety and effects on gut health, heart disease risk, and long-term metabolic health remain under active scientific debate. Some studies suggest potential links to changes in gut bacteria and an increased risk of certain metabolic disorders, though the evidence is not conclusive and continues to be contested. In sum, artificial sweeteners are a double-edged sword. They sidestep some of sugar's pitfalls, but introduce their own set of questions and potential issues. The psychological aspect is particularly tricky. They can perpetuate the very cravings for sweetness they're meant to circumvent, potentially leading to a tangled web of dietary behaviors that might do more harm than good. As with many things in nutrition, moderation and a holistic view of diet are key. The story of artificial sweeteners in our bodies is a testament to the complexity of human metabolism and the ongoing quest to balance pleasure, health, and well-being in our diets. By this point, you might be nodding along, recognizing the significant shift from sugar to artificial sweeteners in pursuit of health and weight management. So, where exactly do these sugar substitutes sneak into our diets? Honestly, they're almost omnipresent. Diet sodas, sugar-free gum, low-calorie desserts, and light dairy products, these are the obvious suspects. Yet, it's often the hidden sources that catch us off guard. Health-conscious choices can be deceptive, harboring sweeteners where you least expect them. In your health bars, sugar-free cookies, diet beverages, low-sugar jams, and even in toothpaste and medications. The real kicker comes when products marketed as healthier or for weight loss contain artificial sweeteners in quantities that could potentially lead to a disconnect between the body's calorie intake signals and actual energy consumption. It's the nutrition equivalent of thinking you're taking a shortcut, only to find out it's a loop. Manufacturers have cleverly integrated these sweeteners into an array of products over the years, leading to unintentional consumption by many of us. Flavored waters, protein powders, breakfast cereals, instant oatmeal, salad dressings, and even some bread and condiments. Not all products with artificial sweeteners are problematic, but if you're consuming them regularly, it's worth a peek at the ingredients list next time you shop. Making a simple switch to a brand that doesn't use them or opting for whole foods can make a difference. Some items, however, might be best left on the shelf. But wait, there's more. If you're on the lookout for ways to sweeten your life without resorting to artificial sweeteners, you're in luck. The world of natural sweeteners is vast and varied, offering a plethora of options that cater to different tastes, dietary needs, and health goals. Let's dive into some alternatives that keep things sweet naturally. First up, we have stevia. Derived from the leaves of the Stevia rhabaudiana plant, it's a no-calorie sweetener that's much sweeter than sugar. What sets stevia apart is its natural origin and the fact that it doesn't spike blood sugar levels, making it a favorite among those managing diabetes or watching their caloric intake. Honey is another popular choice, beloved for its complex flavor and trace nutrients. While it does contain calories, honey has a lower glycemic index than sugar, meaning it doesn't raise blood sugar levels as quickly. Plus, it's packed with antioxidants and can add a unique flavor to your tea, yogurt, or toast. Maple syrup is not just for pancakes, it's a fantastic all-natural sweetener made from the sap of maple trees. It contains antioxidants and nutrients like zinc and manganese. Keep in mind, though, it's pretty high in sugar, so moderation is key. Coconut sugar is made from the sap of the coconut palm and has a lower glycemic index than regular sugar. It retains some of the nutrients found in the coconut palm, including iron, zinc, calcium, and potassium, plus some short-chain fatty acids, polyphenols, and antioxidants. Agave nectar is sweeter than honey and tends to be less viscous. Derived from the agave plant, it has a lower glycemic index due to its high fructose content. However, because of this high fructose content, it's best used in moderation. Dates are nature's candy and a fantastic way to sweeten smoothies, baked goods, and even make natural sweetener pastes. They're packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Monk fruit sweetener comes from the monk fruit, or luohan guo, and is another calorie-free option. It's much sweeter than sugar, but doesn't have the aftertaste some find unpleasant with other sweeteners. Molasses, particularly blackstrap molasses, is rich in nutrients like iron, calcium, magnesium, and vitamin B6. It's a byproduct of sugarcane or sugar beet processing and has a robust bittersweet flavor. Choosing the right natural sweetener comes down to personal preference and health goals. Each has its own set of benefits and drawbacks, but incorporating them into your diet can help reduce your intake of artificial sweeteners and added sugars, contributing to a healthier, more balanced lifestyle. Remember, though, that natural doesn't always mean low-calorie or sugar-free, so moderation is still important. So are there any exceptions to the general caution against artificial sweeteners? Is there a silver lining where these substitutes actually offer some benefit? Well, you might be surprised, but yes, there are nuances worth discussing. Let's clear the air first. When it comes to artificial sweeteners, they're not a one-size-fits-all solution to sugar woes. In terms of calorie control and managing blood sugar levels, they do have their place. For individuals with diabetes or those monitoring their caloric intake, artificial sweeteners can be a helpful tool in maintaining a balanced diet without spiking blood glucose levels. However, I'd like to highlight an important caveat, and it's something that needs careful consideration. Nutrition isn't just about the physical aspects. It's also deeply intertwined with our mental and emotional well-being. The notion of completely cutting out every single item that contains artificial sweeteners from your diet could lead to a sense of deprivation. This deprivation, in turn, can have psychological impacts, potentially leading to binge eating or the abandonment of healthy eating practices altogether. Is that occasional diet soda or sugar-free dessert really the hill you want to die on? Probably not. Moderation and balance are key here. It's about making informed choices, not fostering an all-or-nothing mentality. Yes, relying heavily on artificial sweeteners isn't recommended due to unresolved questions about their long-term health effects. But using them judiciously, as part of a diet rich in whole foods and nutrients, might not be the dietary villain it's often made out to be. So if you find joy in the occasional artificially sweetened treat, and it helps you maintain an overall healthier lifestyle, then it might not be such a bad thing. Remember, dietary choices are deeply personal and should align with your health goals, preferences, and well-being. It's all about finding that sweet spot, pun intended, that works for you. Now, if this video was enjoyable or informative for you, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button because there's a lot more content like this coming. Feel free to drop a comment below about which nutrition topics you're interested in learning about in a comprehensive video breakdown. Just a reminder, it's crucial to conduct your own research and take charge of your health. After all, we each have only one body to care for.